Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy your stay. I almost forgot to unmute myself. So today we are playing The Letter. Remember in like 2010s when you'd get like these emails like, this email is cursed, send this to like 10 people and or else you'll get cursed and die in like a few days or something. Hello collabing, welcome to the stream. Why are you getting brain rot? The Ermengarde Mansion. It was built for Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde of Luxbourne, humble ambassadors of peace and beloved by their people. Both are well known for their compassion and generosity, never failing to extend a helping hand to anyone in need. Under their influence and wealth, what was once a small, sleepy village grew to a prosperous and bustling town. Sleep-deprived and low blood pressure? I feel you on the sleep-deprived part, buddy. I am currently an insomniac. I am on sleeping pills. However, the seasons of joy eventually ended when the good nobles perished at the hands of a great plague. Their riches and legacy were henceforth passed on to their only child, Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion has stood since the 1620s, a witness to a very long history of joy and pain. After Lady Charlotte committed suicide, the great house was eventually left uninhabited, and that is when it began. Surrounding villagers spoke of seeing and hearing unearthly things, of cries and howls that filled the nights, hearsay of a mysterious woman roaming their hollowed halls aimlessly. People who dared enter its walls were simply never heard from again. Even after 400 years, these stories remain, much like the house itself. Whispers about the once great house, its legend, and its curse still fall upon the villagers' ears. In spite of this, the current owners are convinced that the stories are nothing more than a hoax. With little regard for the truth, they had Briar Realty Corporation place the property back on sale. Like Pandora's box, the secrets that lie inside await to be discovered by brave souls. No matter what happens, take care not to be consumed by the curse. Good luck. Isabella. Oh. Decline.
Hello? Isabella? Are you there?
A familiar, jittery voice comes from the other end.
Oh, hey Rose. I'm at St. Goretti High. What's the matter?
What do you mean, what's the matter? It's the mansion, silly. I'm here and you're late. Jeez, we're on shift together. You promised. Oh my god, please don't tell me you forgot. You were planning on leaving me to check this place out on my own, weren't you? You chickened out.
Calm down. You know I take my promises seriously.
I'd like to believe that. So hurry up and get here. This place is huge. A bit too quiet since no one's lived here since, like, forever, but beautiful nonetheless.
Why are you so surprised? This isn't the first time you've been there.
I know. I just wish I could live in a place like this.
Oh, no you won't.
It really takes my breath away.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Not after the rumors that say it's haunted.
Yeah, about that.
Jeez, never mind those rumors. Ghosts aren't real after all. And even if they are, which they are not, they can't do anything.
Yeah, about that. Let's try getting all the bad endings just to prove
They're
you
nothing but
wrong.
spirits.
You don't know that. They might be listening or watching right now, and they might not be happy with you enough to curse you.
No offense, sweetie, but that's a bit of a stretch.
You want to find out, Rose? Yeah, I know, right?
Believe it or not, it's better to be careful.
Right. You know, not every property we sell will end up with a dead body stuffed in a sofa.
And I think that mansion is where we'll likely find another one. I can feel it.
That was one time, Isabella. Loosen up.
We only found a dead body inside the property we're selling once. You don't need to panic. What are the odds it'll happen again?
Wait, just get here ASAP, please. I'm bored being here on my own.
Bored or scared?
Fine, fine. Let me just finish up here. I'll be right there soon.
Okay, see you. Bye.
He hangs up before I can respond. Rose, still as charming as ever. So full disclosure, I have played this, but I went through the best routes. I somehow got through most of the best routes, I think, beforehand. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going through the terrible routes. We're going to try and lead these guys to death.
Who was that?
I look up from my phone to see Rebecca. Becca giving me a questioning look.
Oh, that? It's just Rose.
The one who trained you. You're working together again?
Just for this property. We've been scoping out that big mansion down Anselm Village after the renovations. Today's sort of its grand opening to the public. The RC wants to give it one last check before we let potential buyers tour it this afternoon.
Hold on. Is this the same mansion you've been telling everyone about? Didn't you keep saying how it just gave you the creeps?
Some of the voice acting isn't the same as the subtitles,
You
but...
actually went there? And you're going back?
Well, I did promise Rose I wouldn't ditch her. And besides, a job is a job. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living.
Yeah, who cares about getting cursed? We need the money, otherwise we'll starve to death anyways. As soon as those words leave my mouth, Becca lets out a soft chuckle.
What's so funny?
Nothing. It's just that I didn't expect you to say that. Coming from you, it sounds so out of character. I mean, no offense, but you've been freaking out ever since you got assigned to it. I honestly thought you'd back out.
Not all the time. I could really use a huge amount of cash right now, and this is just the fastest way to get it. Plus, listen to this. Briar Realty wants it sold as soon as possible, and the agent who lands the deal is going to get a huge bonus. They never give
Hell
bonuses
yeah,
like that.
bonuses.
Getting that would make life so much easier. They're desperate, I'm desperate, it's perfect.
Yeah, desperate enough to get cursed and die. High risk, high reward, baby. A sympathetic look crosses her face.
You know, if you're really in urgent need of money, you could have just asked me. Or Ashton. We can always let you borrow, and you can pay us back whenever.
I have to keep myself from groaning out loud. The years I've known her, I can already tell what to expect when she has that expression.
Becca,
I've noticed that you've been living off instant noodles these past few weeks.
Way to call me out, game. Way to call me out. She crosses her arms and grimaces at the thought. Her voice slightly rises as she begins to scold me. Instantly, I'm reminded why Becca excels at teaching boisterous teenagers.
Stop eating junk! They're cheap, but they're not good for you. You'll definitely end up in the hospital if you keep at it.
I eat other things too. You're not my mom! I press my lips together and roll my eyes at her. I'm not entirely sure how I should feel whenever she goes on her mother hen mode. She means well. I'm glad someone's looking out for me, especially with my family living on the other side of the globe. But Becca's bossy attitude can be such a pain sometimes. She's more overbearing than Mama, and that already says a lot.
you're not my mom.
You're not my real
I
mom!
didn't say I am.
Nope, but you're acting like one. You don't need to boss me around all the time.
She gives me a completely unimpressed look. Immediately, I brace myself for another round of reprimands from her.
I'm not bossing you around. I'm just telling you to at least mind what you're eating. Remember what happened last year?
What happened
you
last year?
ended up bedridden for 2 weeks after eating something bad, and I ended up having to listen to you cry about how those absences would take a huge chunk out of your paycheck.
You know, that reminds me of the time I got food poisoning because I was like, the spaghetti should be fine. It's been out for like 3 days. Should be fine. And then I had to end the stream early, and I was vomiting the rest of the night.
Do you want that to happen again?
And fatty liver, yes.
No, Mom.
Only a loud, frustrated sigh comes from her while she pinches the bridge of her nose, likely to help ease a headache starting to form. I bite my lip to keep myself from laughing out loud at the image she makes, expecting her to say more. But when at last she looks up, she's simply carrying a resigned expression on her face.
I'm serious.
Not my mom, Rebecca.
Maria Isabella Grace.
Oh my god, mother hen mode! I shut my mouth after that. Although I know she's not really angry, I don't want to push it. An angry Becca isn't someone I'd like to cross paths with in my lifetime. I've seen it happen, and it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I'll stop.
I grumble, but she doesn't seem to care much. only giving me a small acknowledging nod.
Look, if you need anything, tell me and I'll help in any way I can.
Anything?
You don't have to do this alone.
Can you clean my room, please? It is a mess.
Thanks, Becca. I really appreciate it, but you don't need to keep babying me. You've been taking care of me since after I moved here. You have to take a break sometime. And before you ask again, no. You know I'm not a fan of borrowing money. And I'm not going to ask you to give me what you earned hard for yourself.
You and your pride. But suit yourself.
There's one thing a Saiyan never... never forgets. It's his pride!
The offer stays on the table, though.
I nod in response, if only to get her to drop the topic. But I'm pretty certain I will never take that offer. Ever. Has nothing to do with pride, I'm just not gonna live long enough to be able to. Hello, Ahmad! Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy. I've simply seen plenty of times how friendships can take a turn for the worse, just because of a few unpaid debts. Hey, nice! Congratulations, Fami! Also, welcome to the stream. I don't want something like that to happen between me and Becca. We may argue about a lot of small petty things, but she already feels like a real sister to me. I don't want to lose that friendship over something so trivial. Becca's movements, when she takes a quick glance at something behind me, snaps me out of my thoughts.
Enough chit-chat. Lunch is ending, and my students will be back any minute. We can catch up later. Good luck with your clients. You better treat us to lunch or something if you get that sale.
You bet!
Yeah, cheap lunch. With a small smile, she returns to her desk and begins sifting through the pages of a rather thick history book. She's probably working on next week's lesson plan, or trying at least. Her eyes are distant and she doesn't seem too attentive to whatever is on the page. As if she heard my thoughts, Becca starts coughing heavily. Her hands hastily go over her mouth to stifle the sounds. Ah, this is precisely why I followed her here. For someone who makes a habit about worrying about other people, Becca sure forgets how to take care of herself.
You sure you can manage on your own? I mean, you're still a bit feverish.
Hush, dear. Don't you worry about me. I'll just drink some medicine and I'll be right as rain.
Yeah, I mean, a little COVID never killed any kids before. I level her with a flat look. She has a cold. She has had a cold for a couple of days now. Something about the strange weather not agreeing with her lately. Coincidentally, my friend is having a bad cough right now. Aw, I hope your friend feels better soon. And despite my advice to take the week off and rest, I found her apartment empty when I dropped by this morning. She even left the medicine her doctor prescribed. Look who's being stubborn now.
You shouldn't even be working right now.
Seriously, you big baby. I'll be fine. For now, just go to work and stop making that Rose girl wait for you.
Oh yeah, she's waiting for us.
I'll call you if I still feel bad. And you can come pick me up if it makes you feel any better.
She offers me a reassuring smile and I can only sigh. Why do I even bother? There is no stopping her when she has decided on something. Defeated, I reach inside my bag and pull out the same bottle of medicine she left earlier. She looks at it warily when I place it in front of her. Haha, that's right, little kid. You still gotta take your medicine. Unfortunately for her, this is one thing I'm not letting her have her way.
All right, but don't forget what the doctor said. Drink this on time.
Yeah, that's right. You can't escape it.
I'll see you later, okay?
There's an amused gleam in her eyes when she shifts them back at me.
Look who's playing the mother hen now.
Rebecca!
Okay. I won't tease anymore. I'll make sure to drink it, Mom.
Before I can retort, she casts another look at the clock. I take that as a sign to finally end the conversation in my short visit. With a small wave, I leave her alone to her classroom and her thoughts. I hail a passing taxi to take me to the property as soon as I leave the school grounds. The mansion is some ways out in the countryside. I don't have trouble giving the driver directions. Apparently everyone in Luxborn City knows of it, including every bit of rumor surrounding the place. In fact, just the mention of its name is enough for some locals to give you a cautious sidelong glance. I learned that the hard way, the first time I commuted there, and it only boosted my belief that there's something more to the house. Even the news of it being renovated and placed back up in the market has caused quite a stir. Thankfully, it died down a few weeks later. The place would have become a lot harder to sell otherwise. I avert my eyes from the window, and once the buildings shrink in the distance, we get a glimpse of the countryside soon. although a quick glance at my watch tells me we're still a few minutes away from our destination. Might as well get some work done. Rose did ask me to review the mansion's documents. I already looked over them last night, but you never know when things may go wrong. Life has ways of messing up like that. Halfway through reading the papers, my phone rings again. I pick it up without looking, neatly tucking it between my ear and shoulder. Probably just Rose again,
Rose?
anyway.
Guess again.
Oh, hello, Ash. That voice.
Ash.
Bingo.
Hey, what's up?
Just checking if you're still cool later this evening.
You mean that thing with Zach?
Yeah, he even called in the middle of the night just to remind me.
No, don't worry. I didn't forget. I'll be there.
Cool, I'll see you later. What time do you get off?
Around 6 p.m.? I don't know. It's the first day of the Ermengarde Mansion's open house, and we're expecting quite a number of potential buyers. I'll be booked the whole afternoon.
Ermengarde Mansion?
You know, the big Jacobean mansion at Anselm Village? I'm on my way there right now, actually.
On your own?
Yeah, well, Rose is already there, but yeah.
I see. Looks like the scaredy cat finally toughened up.
Hey, fuck you!
Shut up!
Ash chuckles and I can't help but roll my eyes upon hearing it.
I'll see you later. Drop me a call when you're done.
Ashhole!
I'll see if I can pick you up.
Ashhole.
Whatever. Bye.
We're gonna have to find Rose, don't we? Probably. Stupid Ashhole, always teasing me whenever he sees a chance. Stupid sexy Ashhole. I'll show him who's tough. It takes a few more minutes until I finally reach the infamous mansion. I have to admit, the entire property does look wonderful from the outside. Yet despite all of this, it does nothing to hide that something is just wrong. The surrounding area is unusually silent, and only the rustling of the leaves can be heard and as the occasional breeze passes. While Anselm Village is just a few miles away, everybody keeps their distance on purpose. Perhaps out of fear, horror of falling under the mansion's curse. Somehow it makes me feel sad. The lack of immediate human presence just makes this place all the more eerie than it has any right to be. If it's uncanny in broad daylight, I can't imagine how this place looks
You
at night.
planning to go inside that place, Missy?
The voice nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Without completely taking my eyes away from the house, I give the driver a confused nod. A beat passes while I wait for him to say more, but his only answer is the non-committal hum. Belatedly, it occurs to me that he must have been waiting for my payment. I mentally slap myself for spacing out and promptly hand him the fare with an apologetic look. I expected him to leave as soon as I paid, but there's a hesitant expression on him, as if something hasn't been said yet.
Is there something wrong?
Look, Missy, I'm sure you've heard what the people are telling everyone about that place. Nobody likes to be disturbed when they're at peace, and I'm pretty sure whatever they say is in that house doesn't want to either. I admit they did a good job fixing it up, but there must have been a reason why even distant relatives of the family who used to own the house never lived in there despite inheriting it. No wonder they wanted to get rid of it.
Maybe they just didn't like it?
You never know.
He drives off after, but what he said has left a foreboding feeling in my gut. I breathe out a heavy sigh as I approach the house. After hearing enough rumors, I should have expected the conversation to take that turn. But I'm already here, backing out is completely out of the question. Not like I have a choice anyway. If I want to get that bonus and commission, one way or another I have to sell this property. The door is ajar when I get to it. However, while my own copy of the key dangles uselessly in my hand, Rose must have left it open when she arrived. That's weird. Maybe the only people here this early, but I've never known her as someone careless. Entering what greets me inside leaves me gaping. They've cleaned every corner, waxed the floor, dusted the antique, searched every nook, cranny, and crevice, and made it spick and span. All for the sake of making it more enticing to the modern-day lords and ladies. But no matter how hard they try, the mansion still looks as soulless as ever. As though it's going to eat you alive. If you ask me, they should have just listened to what the other people have been telling them and leave this place alone. Some things in this world are better left alone, never to be disturbed ever again.
Rose?
I call out.
Rose, I'm here. Where are you?
Kudos to the cleaner, they had it worse, yeah. My voice echoes softly throughout the hallways. Oh, who am I kidding? In a place this big, I don't think she'll hear me no matter how deafening the silence is. She could be all the way to the other side of the property for all I know. Quickly, I reach my phone and dial her number, but...
The number you have dialed has not recognized. Please check and try again.
That's not good. What do you mean has not been recognized? We were just talking a while ago. Not like she was eaten by the house, right? Or maybe the ghost did hear us talking and spirited her away, right? Right? No, Isabella, don't be ridiculous. She probably just wandered deeper into the house and lost signal or something. I dial her number again, hoping the call will connect this time.
You have dialed has
But to no avail. Oh boy, I have a very bad feeling about this.
Rose? If you can hear me, please come out. Come on, Rose. This isn't funny. You know this place gives me the creeps.
No answer. This isn't going to work. The place is big, she could be anywhere. I need to start looking for her. Take a deep breath before venturing deeper into the mansion. Taking a couple steps forward, I noticed something move above the grand staircase.
What the hell? Rose? Rose, is that you?
I actually didn't see what moved.
Not funny. I'm leaving you if you don't come out. Not coming out, huh?
Fine, I'm going.
Okay, that's a lie. She's my friend, I can't really leave until I know she's alright. Growing desperate, I try to contact her number again. Come on, please give me something. Please, Lord? Yes, finally!
Hello? Hello? Rose, I'm here at the mansion. Where the hell are you?
She doesn't respond. There's also heavy static coming from her side. Oh, whoops. I sincerely hope it doesn't get cut off again before I can get an answer from her.
Rose, come on. Where are you?
A few moments pass until the static eventually starts to quiet down.
What? The attic? Why?
Crap, it got cut off. Man, do I really need to go there? With how deep inside the mansion the attic is, there's barely any signal there. No wonder I can't contact her. Why is she there? Out of all places, she just has to make me go fetch her in the creepiest room of this place. Is she doing this to get back at me for being late? Whatever, I'll just go. The sooner I meet up with her, the sooner I'll feel better about being here. I carefully make my way up the staircase. My legs wobble as I mentally curse the fact that I've chosen real estate instead of picking a career that doesn't involve strange abandoned houses. Upon reaching the top, the grand hallway greets me. It branches out to two major wings of the mansion, east and west wing. There are two attics here, one on each side. The east one has been converted to a storage room of sorts, and somehow I find it least likely for Rose to wander there by herself. Besides, she never did like going into stuffy storage rooms, so I head towards the west wing first, where a simple wooden door at the end of the hall opens to a small room. Inside is another set of steps leading to the second attic. Unlike the grand staircase, though, the stairs to the attic are steep and narrow, made of stones and covered with a thick coating of dust that kicks up in air with every step. Thank God it's still daytime. If it weren't for the light streaming through the door behind me, I might easily stumble and fall. With how old the place is, there are no light fixtures to illuminate the cramped passage up. Why they didn't bother to add one there when they renovated escapes me. Yeesh, they did it to the rest of the house. A small bedroom welcomes me at the end. Strange, cleaners would have cleaned those unless there were good reasons. Yeah, I know, right? Look at all the cobwebs! It looks exactly as it did since the last time I've been here, full of dust, worn out, and faded by time. Odd, I thought they cleaned everything. Did the crew miss this room? Ugh, cleanliness is the least of my concerns right now. More pressing matter is Rose. She's not here. Was I dreaming when I talked to her a while ago? Did I mishear her? No, it couldn't have been a dream. After all, the creepy ambiance of this estate is doing such a remarkable job of making sure I stay alert and awake. I'm sure she said she's here. It's a prank. Maybe that phone call was Rose's last message to me before the curse got to her. Shut up, brain, you're not helping. Don't make this scarier than it already is. But if she's not here, then where is she? Look, if she's not there, I wouldn't even stay. I would just go. What the hell was that? That's it, I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving. Must have angered the spirits living here. I knew disturbing this mansion was a bad idea, right from the very start, but nobody listened. Be fucking realistic, they said. They think I'm cuckoo because I believe in curses and ghosts and all that. Me and my outlandish backwater country beliefs. I've always strived to be the model employee, but not this time, no. I'm turning back for the sake of my sanity. Briar Realty can find another agent who's more fucking realistic to tour people around this haunted house. Before leaving, I take one last look at the gloomy old room, just to check.
What's this?
My worries about Rose's whereabouts must have caused me to miss it when I first entered the room. There's clearly something on the floor. It looks like... lying on the ground, just a couple of inches away from my feet. Out of sheer curiosity, I lean down and pick it up. Strange. I don't recall seeing this the last time I was here. A few days back, me and a few other agents inspected the mansion to prepare for today. I had been the last to look inside the attic and leave, and this certainly hadn't been here before. Someone must have left it in this room since. Did Rose leave this for me? Was she here a while ago? I couldn't have missed her though, could I? There's only one set of stairs leading to the attic. The letter isn't exactly in pristine condition. In fact, it looks rather ancient. The paper's so thin and rough, I'm worried it'll fall apart if I so much as touch it. But with great care, I open it, and what I read shakes me to my core.
What? Oh my god.
Nothing but the words "help me" fills the page, all of it seemingly written in a crimson-shaded pen. Or blood. I gulp. Same phrase just goes on until...
Send this to 5 people or else. Or else what? Or else what?
As quickly as I can, I scan the back of the paper and peek into the envelope to make sure I'm not missing out on a second page. But there's nothing.
Oh, please no.
My hands tremble as dread creeps over me. The room's suddenly getting colder. I need to get out of here. Folding the paper in half, the sight that greets me next has me frozen on the spot. A pair of blood-soaked feet enters my field of vision, covered in gaping wounds with skin eaten away to reveal flesh, bone, and all manner of living things that one isn't meant to see. It's too much. All of it is too much. I want to cry, call for help, but the words catch in my throat. Even my feet won't move, completely paralyzed out of terror. I'm gonna close my eyes and pray. I shut my eyes tight, muttering fervent prayers under my breath.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Prayers taught to me as a child by my mama and papa slip out endlessly throughout my teeth. Because God, oh God, if you have to listen to any of my prayers, listen to this one, please! And if God doesn't listen, at least I won't see the thing that kills me. A cold comfort. I wait. And I wait some more, but nothing happens. I dare to take a peek. Only to find that the ghost, that thing, whatever it is, gone. Relief washes over me as I shakily get up to my feet and back away towards the door. Wrenching it open, I slip out without a second thought and make a run for it, down the stairs onto the hallway. I take a look back to make sure it isn't behind me. Any other person might have stopped, dismissed it as a trick of light and an overreactive imagination. But I'm not taking any chances. I'm not giving that thing another chance to catch me off guard. I don't think I'll ever feel safe until I get out of here. Whatever that is, every warning bell in my mind is telling me that it's going to jump out at any moment and get me while I'm still in this place.
I told them! I freaking told them! Oh man, oh man, oh man!
By the way, this is Monarch, I believe, that's voice acting this, or Amelie as she's known. Racing down the stairs, a breathy laugh escapes me, and my shoe slips and I find myself falling. Okay, Cinderella! Until my back hits the ground and pain racks my body. My head grows fuzzy and my vision dims as I fight to stay conscious.
Go away.
The last thing I see are those feet before all I know is darkness. Wait, did I already kill her? A buzz breaks the silence. I start to rouse, pulled into consciousness against my own will. I've never felt this tired before. I just want to sleep, but the insistent buzzing, poking, and prodding isn't letting me. My old mattress may not be the comfiest of places, but doesn't make me any more eager to wake up.
5 more minutes, Becca.
I swat away at what is nudging me persistently at my side. Can't I get a few extra minutes of sleep today? I promise I'll work hard once I'm up. A hand lightly taps my cheek. Something cold is suddenly being pressed to the back of my head. The icy sensation slowly spreads throughout the area, giving me an uncomfortable feeling. The fog immediately lifts from my mind the moment I recognize the voice and my eyes snap open. There, looking down at me, is Rose. Another woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask why there's someone else with her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she's keeping a straight face, or trying to at least. I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down again. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds, until only a mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With a little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump has already formed. If the light ache in the area indicates anything...
Alright, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12, no, that's wrong. Why are we doing this?
She's just checking if your injury is in any way serious.
This time, I curiously regard the woman standing beside Rose. It's impossible to overlook her, but with the way she towers over us. Here I thought Rose is already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining, cleaning crews. But with how primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone would want to clean in a suit. An expensive suit at that. The gloves alone must have already cost a fortune. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression, before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like our supervisor during evaluation.
Just do it, please.
I eye them both warily, but recite everything as she asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance. Are you alright?
Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. The memory's a little fuzzy, but the attic and...
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews. The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last minute...
No, not any of those. I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
Both Rose and the lady look at me like I've just grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose quickly casts an apologetic smile at the woman before the awkward silence stretches on further. It's her saleswoman's smile, the same one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. I should show this to troublesome clients, or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the same one she gives me when I've done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. Takes both my shoulders, gently squeezes it, with as much patience as she can muster.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call. Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really all right? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's... whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down.
Hello, RazorGon. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Yeah, don't call an ambulance. Do you have any idea how much debt I'd be in if I stayed at the hospital? Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. Not to mention, you were about to put me into debt. An extremely minor bump. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing. Really? You've had worse?
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
Well, there's also the part where I may lose that bonus BRC promised, but that's completely besides the point. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her, and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase's railings to steady myself, but otherwise I feel fine.
I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange worried glances, a worried glance, and Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation. He says no.
Right, you in.
A smile threatens to slip out from me.
If I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Suddenly, a small cough sounds against the wall of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman's looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. Well, she is, but not in a scary, negative way. Far from it, actually. Her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. In a different world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. At our lack of response, she coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my throat at the sight of it, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Miss
McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
McCulloch? McCulloch. The way she says that. The word's interior designer catches my eye, before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for its 17th century influences then. I won't hold it against her though. Despite the hearsays and remaining uninhabited for years, mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. After all, with what it offers, this place could be a haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm.
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please...
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
Rose's confusion is impossible to miss when she glances at me, and I return it with an equally perplexed look. And against my better judgment, I blurt out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes. Hannah, right? She hired me to handle the interior design for their new home.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but...
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Suddenly, Rose nudges me with her elbow. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding it.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
I almost flinched when she turns her gaze on me, but I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situations like this before. I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years I've worked in the business.
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
She nods, seemingly in deep thought after I've finished. She appears to be a reasonable person anyway. Given the proper explanation, she'd surely understand.
I thought something looked odd. Excuse me, I need to call my secretary.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job. I can't help but swell with pride. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number of our Luxborn office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I'll be very frustrated if for some reason something has already been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCullough returns, looking a little frustrated but with an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for her having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella? I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of
And
keys.
hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double-check those papers.
Okay, got it.
The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep me company, neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Is paranoia? A temporary lapse after having heard all those tales about this place? Probably. Want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. And if I am going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose have just handed me dig into my palm. Its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. Well, okay then. A flock of people have already gathered at the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. Not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring amongst themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansions has the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased with being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wander to me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Miss McCullough also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Yeah, in certain countries, first floor is the floor above the ground floor. It's the same over here, actually. Wait, is this in Australia? Or maybe this is like Britain? I don't frickin' know. Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine or television? I can't quite remember. Then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I wouldn't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though, and if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I'd think they are brother and sister if it wasn't for their public display of affection. Matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever, couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed, or the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope that one of the people in Maya Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. So, with papers in hand, I lead the way. They aren't whispering among themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another. They ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place. I answer them all, more than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture, mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxburn knows
Some
about
of the
it.
furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty. Even the glass thing, colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
The stained glass, yes.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, ma'am. But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of the conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please let these guys be the one. Eventually our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put into retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in the fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this'll be, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable,
The
at least.
highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Hello, Ino. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy your stay.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright, my memory supplies from the forms I signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time, something lights up in his eyes the moment the mention of the mention of the Undercroft. What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way. My younger siblings especially. On a grown man, it's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Nice.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale. When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. It starts off as a small goosebumps on my skin, feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear, and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down in my spine, making me feel sick. I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyways. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in silent prayer. Till a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hannah. Call me Hannah. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment, and also the thoughts of ka-ching. Is this a joke? She looked at me expectantly as I struggled to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she's tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem.
Oh, okay, cool. It's $1 billion then.
And just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
I mean, fair.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hannah. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon. And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
Extra?
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Shut up, Malfoy!
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hands and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is gonna be so angry at me for letting her do that.
And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
Bitch!
Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and what's this?
A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art.
Oh, whoops.
Not to my taste, though.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful
as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with all walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I wanted to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Ma'am Hannah is leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do
That's good to
interrupt
hear.
her.
See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Well, that's 3.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
3 out of 5. Okay, cool. A smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hand. The sides crinkle in my grip, and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Are you alright? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more to say than to say that no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place, because I remember everything as clear as day. A slither and his blood-soaked limbs in the attic. It's real.
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Don't show the letter or show the letter? You know what? We are trying to get everybody killed, so let's show them the letter. I blurted out before I could even think twice about what I'm going to say.
We need to get out of here. This place is cursed.
Rose casts a nervous glance at the people in the room. Most are still engaged in a conversation with their peers, but those curious enough to turn their head in our group's direction have been given her trademark salesman smile. A tight expression is on her face when she pulls me
Isabella,
aside.
we've already had a conversation about this weeks ago. Those are just stories.
And I'm telling you that it's not. I saw something in there. It's not human at all. I thought it was just nothing, but...
She gently reaches out and plucks the paper off my hand. Without even taking a glance at it, she folds it
Look, I'm
back
really
neatly.
getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important. Give me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest hospital.
No! You don't understand! There isn't a condition, Rose. No concussion at all. I'm fine. But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it.
Before Rose could put her mouth for a retort, a hand lands on both our shoulders, pulling the two of us a distance closer.
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem here?
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion.
Shut up, Malfoy!
Especially darling little Lily here.
He gives my shoulder a gentle squeeze, while an inscrutable smile spreads across his face.
Isabella, sir.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here, I'm sure.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
Yeah. The pressure on my shoulder lifts as soon as those words leave his wife's lips, while the scowl on her face is like a splash of cold water on me. It is also impossible to miss the displeased frown on Miss McCullough's face. The realization that we might lose the sale because of my outburst instantly dawns on me. Rose will be beyond pissed.
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. Doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to
Isabella,
me.
wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler. Eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her
Hey,
lips.
I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down at her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. That stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless. More as an automatic response than a desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. I have this nagging feeling that one way or another it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait, no, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hand together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. I do understand, to some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her. I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means!
At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
Still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. Better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Excuse me, I just hydrated.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A visitor lingers in the area. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies, gathered some ways across from me, is occupied in a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. A little argument here, an occasional laugh there and teasing there. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right, I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help? Speaking of which, I should call Ash. A few hours early from what I've told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept the latter, personal convictions and all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. Well, whatever way works. A free ride is still a free ride. And there's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple of minutes and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later. The call finally connects and...
Shit! What's up, I'm Ash from the City. Baggers, watch out. Can't
What
beat me.
the fuck?
Better not lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy.
What the fuck?
Looking for trouble? Better
What?
not lie.
How loud is
I'm
this
a
thing
cool
even?
Dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy.
A sharp ringing fills the entire hall, disrupting the pleasant quiet that had settled. Soon enough, heads begin to turn in search of the source, mine included. My eyes dart around the small crowd. The forest zeroing in on a lone figure crouched behind the same group of old people, checking out the chorus a moment ago. He is face. I'm gonna need to take my headphones off for a bit. I can't stop laughing at this. He's facing away from me, fumbling with something in his hands. But I don't need to see his face to know whose back it is. Oh, I'd recognize that dumb parka anywhere. Without bothering to end the call, I marched towards him. After what happened today, I'm really not in the mood to deal with this.
Of all the times to...
Ashton Frey!
What happens next is something I'll surely regret later for having not recorded. What the fuck? He jumps out. He jumps, letting out an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping from his grip. It bounces from one hand to the other in his poor attempt to catch it before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a resounding clack. I kind of feel sorry for the phone and the floor. It's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn his stupid detective senses. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Huh. An awkward pause passes between us. A blink. A cough. He makes a face. And then in a too-quick motion, he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget, while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. Another universe where we haven't known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing isn't a day-to-day occurrence. Chances are I'd find that adorable. Endearing, even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected
Hello to
disposition.
you too, scaredy cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
Shut up, asshole!
What? And miss that look on your face? No way.
Yeah, screw you,
Oh,
asshole.
Man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Shut up, asshole!
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed the canary, suddenly checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damage or scratches. Seems to be a more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash?
I could be looking to buy a house.
A mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He chances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious to follow his gaze, but before I can figure out what's caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to face him.
I just finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. My confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm, like he has touched something particularly hot, and casually rubs the back of his neck.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all.
You're interested in Isabella, aren't you?
So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown in my face, because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't ask any more questions. Last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on Earth I'll ever think about telling it to if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy, God knows how many times he's helped me even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and supernatural, he'll never believe those even if he hears it from a friend. Except maybe if it's from Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you at every single chance he'll get. Ashhole. What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spill word of what I saw. Nope, over my dead body. Ward catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
A rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens. Not the usual autumn draft, but still a welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in the awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. I don't look back. We spend the ride back to Luxburn City in a relatively quiet manner, with the only radio's disjointed hum in the background to fill the silence. Occasionally, Ash will reach out to fiddle with it until the signal settles or it's on a respectable volume, but otherwise he doesn't say anything. Neither do I. However, if the furtive glances he's been sending my way are signs, I know there are things he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. I keep my eyes trained on the passing scenery outside, small hope that my disinterest will dissuade him.
Here.
All of a sudden, he tosses something at me from a small compartment on his side. It hits me cleanly on the chin before I can make a move to catch it. A small package makes a soft landing on my lap instead.
Sorry.
The glare I sent him wipes the smirk about to form cleanly off his face. He clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road again. I swear he did that on purpose. Ignoring him, I flipped the half-forgotten package on my lap.
I won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars?
I always have one on my person, and you look like you're about to pass out back there. Have you eaten lunch yet?
I don't even get a chance to deny it, because right on cue, my stomach rumbles loudly, and an empty, gnawing feeling in my belly becomes noticeable. No surprise there, I did skip breakfast and lunch so I could catch Becca while she was on break. I was hoping to get a small meal after. I guess with everything going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. Not like the hollow feeling's new to me though. If anything, it's just one of the things I've gotten used to ignoring over the years, growing up. Thanks, then I tear open the package and start nibbling on the edge of the bar. Apart from the acknowledging nod, Ash doesn't say anything after that small exchange. For that, I'm thankful. After getting an earful from both Becca and Rose, nice to be able to just sit down with someone, not going to nag at you.
How'd the open house go?
The usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really, no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there?
I wasn't really listening.
I should have asked someone to kick you out.
No, you won't.
And what makes you so sure?
One, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Rebecca's words, not mine. She's been complaining to me about how you talked your ears off, by the way. Two, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job, which brings us to three. It's been months since you last settled a deal, and you're short on money right now since you're back to your instant noodle diet.
How do you even know about the last one?
Becca?
Rebecca. Anyhow, you're hellbent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know personally is in the tour group, you aren't going to just kick them out. Every single person who went on your open house is still a prospective client to you. Even me.
He's not entirely wrong. Man, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
I hate you. I really hate you right now.
His answer is a small laugh, the kind that screams, I'm right, I told you so. I hate it when he does
I'll
that.
have you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property.
Yeah, you might have screwed that one up when you, freaked out.
So even if you expressed any sort of interest in it, I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad.
Provided I didn't botch it with the rights. Ma'am Hannah in particular didn't look too pleased with what I did. I owe Rose a big apology. She likes free donuts.
You don't seem too happy about it.
I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you?
No, it doesn't.
Really? And here I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa. Where's the wardrobe this time?
He meant that as a joke, but how close it is to the truth made my blood run cold and my own heartbeat a heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the letter in my bag feels a whole lot heavier, burdened by my own guilt and apprehension.
Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about. No need to make a fuss about it. It's normal in the business.
You made them angry?
Not angry, just stuff happened.
More uncomfortable than angry.
Like?
Things.
Did they do anything? Your clients, the rights, was it?
I can't answer that. At least not without revealing everything that took place in the attic. Let's save here. Lie to him or change the subject? Lie to him. I turn my eyes back to the passing view outside. Maybe if I remain quiet long enough, he'll get
Seriously,
the hint.
what happened?
You're already assuming something happened.
I'm not. It's what you said earlier, and that's why I'm asking. What did they do?
They didn't do anything, all right? It's nothing. Work's just been stressful. My boss has been in a bad mood lately over a lost sale. Preparing everything for the open house has been tiring. And then there's the tour. You've seen how big the place is.
Wish he'd just drop the subject and be done with it. Feel like he'll do something if I tell him. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, casting a vibrant orange glow on tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the movie house. Zach's been pretty excited about his movie. I'd hate to ruin that for him. Right now, I just want the day to be over.
People we interrogate often avoid our eyes when they're hiding something.
I'm not hiding anything.
I didn't say you were.
Then why are you still asking about it?
Your face is a lot more expressive than you think.
Can you please just drop it?
Jesus Christ, your expression. My voice comes out harsher than I've intended, and I immediately regret having taken that tone with him. As one would expect, Ash is taken aback, but recovers quickly. An uncomfortable silence settles in the car, while I find myself wishing I hadn't snapped at him like that. Stupid Isabella. It's the first time in months you get to spend time with your friends, and you're already messing things up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell.
He responds with nothing more than a nod, and I take that as his way of dropping the topic. For now, if the way his jaw tightens is a sign of what he still thinks about the matter, I just hope I can give him a proper answer next time. Time passes quickly between us in this matter, and before I know it, we're already at the movie house. Alright, save there. And I'm feeling a little bit winded today, because, well, I've been sleep deprived, and recently it feels like I have insomnia, and I've recently started taking sleeping pills to help me with that. So for now, I'm going to take a rest. There will be shorter streams for a while, just until I get my bearings on things. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. Thank you again, everybody, so much for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all next time. Take care of yourselves, and sweet nightmares.